and welcome everyone. Today we are going to have a very brief session on understanding and deciphering UPSC syllabus. So first of all, there are certain questions that may arise in the minds of aspirants. Why do we need to stick to the UPSC syllabus and how it is important, what does it constitute and what is its relevance to understanding and preparing UPSC exam. So you have to understand that we have a wide range of topics as well as wide range of subjects. So if we do not limit ourselves, it becomes very difficult to handle this syllabus. Also, why there are such range of subjects? Because we are supposed to be as bureaucrats, as decision makers, we are supposed to have that knowledge, we are supposed to be well read. So to have that wide range understanding and well depth read person, you have to have studies and information on all these topics. So that is why it is very important to go through all these subjects. Second, at that position where you are a decision maker, you have to take very informed decision. Unless you are well read, unless you have experienced these situations and you have a basic idea of these, it becomes very difficult to face such circumstances. Third thing, it's crucial to understand and have an idea on the society, administration and the governance that we are living in and how does it operate, so that we can always have amendments and we can improve it for public benefit. Then, like I said, we need to fence our syllabus so that we do not run after everything that is prescribed or that basically comes under everything under the sun. So we are supposed to be jack of all trades when it comes to UPSC preparation and not doing PhD in any of these subjects except your optionals. Having said that, let's see. We have overall prelims and mains examination, that is 2 stages of this examination apart from the interview stage. We'll take up the discussion on this preliminary and mains examination. Because we have separately been described and been given the syllabus of these 2 stages, so my purpose is to decipher these 2. Now coming and starting with the prelim stage, as you can see, there are certain caveats and issues with respect to prelims stage examination and the syllabus prescribed for it. Now first of all is, generally what students do is they depend on secondary coverage of the syllabus through classes or maybe understanding through different sources. So my suggestion is, or a very good suggestion would be, to directly refer to the UPSC syllabus so you know where you have to limit yourself and where you have to understand the very keywords that have been given in the UPSC syllabus. Then again, since there are 2 types of syllabus for prelims and mains, it is quite a few times repeated that you have to study in an integrated manner, because the syllabus of prelims is quite general in terms. There are various key terms which are sometimes are not decipherable and you have to micro detail them. There comes the role of mains examination and mains syllabus. So there you have to, like this point, you have to remain guided by the main syllabus, and so that this general and vagueness of the prelims examination and the syllabus prescribed of it is gone. So just to tell you and highlight it, we have 2 papers for the prelim stage the same day, each of 200 marks, each of 2 hours duration. But in the first examination you have 100 questions, and in second examination, for the second examination, which is also known as CSAT, you have 80 questions. So for the first paper, for the prelim stage, you have to read history of India and Indian national movement. You have to read Indian and world geography, physical as well as human, and then polity, governance, constitution, economic and social development, and environmental studies and ecology, biodiversity, climate change, and of course science and technology, which is also known as general science. And all the important events of national and international importance are also part of prelims syllabus. Basically, it covers the contemporary newspaper coverage. Then your paper 2nd of the prelims, that is CSAT, it has comprehension, certain English and numeracy part as well, basic maths, and logical reasoning and decision making and problem solving. So one thing that you have to remember in this aspect is that this is a qualifying paper. You have to score 33%, basically 66 numbers in this examination out of 200 to qualify this paper. So that's the more or less general overview of your prelim syllabus. Now, if you have not seen it clearly, these are quite prescriptory in nature. If we do not micro detail these subjects, we are going to get confused. That's why the role of your mains syllabus. We'll take it GS wise, GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. Remember, this is just again a general overview. For micro detailing, we'll have separate sessions. So, for your GS1 in mains examination, as you can see here, you have 3 subjects: history, geography and society. First of all, let's start with history. Here you have to cover modern history, that is ancient history, medieval history, modern history, of course post-independence, consolidation and reorganization within the country. That's why post-independence India. You also have to cover world history. So, this is more or less. Now, Indian culture, do not forget, if you study under the ancient, medieval and modern part, then it's covered. Otherwise, you can take it as a separate part under the history. So, this is regarding the history subject under GS1. Then you have society, where you have to know about the salient features of Indian society, its diversity, various organizations, women's organizations, again various vulnerable sections as well, be it old age, be it children, population and associated issues, poverty, human development, their issues, urbanization, their problems and their suggestions and solutions, also known as remedies. Then you have globalization and concepts such as social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism. These are again your GS1 syllabus part society. Then to move ahead, we have geography within GS1 as well. Here you will read about more or less about 2 things: physical and your human geography. So, you have 2 subjects basically inside it. And in general terms, you have to read about the world's physical geography, its salient features. You have to read about the natural resources across the world. That could be water resources, forest resources. It could be, and then you have to read about the industries, primary, secondary or tertiary. Then you have to read about various geophysical phenomena, be it tsunami, be it floods, volcanic activity, cyclones, etc. And again, effects of such changes on flora, fauna and the local locations and regions. So, that is within the geography. Now, coming down to the GS2 part. Please remember, it has 3 subjects: polity, governance, international relations. Governance also has aspect of social justice. Okay. So, now decoding the polity sections of it, as you have seen in the syllabus, you can see we have to read about the Constitution of India, then various structures, organization and functioning of the executive, judiciary or the legislature. Again, this act, Representation of People's Act, you have to know it in detail. Then appointments to various constitutional bodies, non-constitutional bodies as well. Then various quasi-judicial bodies. So, all of this syllabus is related to polity part. Then you have governance aspect as well, and social justice is also included. Then various policies, government and interventions for various sections in various sectors. Then development processes and development industry. So, NGOs, role of NGOs, role of SSGs, self-help groups and various groups and associations, donors, charities, institutionals and other stakeholders. Then you also have various issues related to social sector services, that could be health, that could be education, employment, human resources, etc. Then issues related to poverty and hunger. Then other aspects of governance, transparency, accountability and e-governance. Now, this particular aspect is also common, and this also. These both are also part of your ethics, that is paper 4. This part will be covered in governance. And now, international relations. Anything that has interest and that has impact on India and its interest is important. India and its neighborhood relations, then bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving India and impacting its interests. Then policies of developed as well as developing countries on India's interest, its diaspora, and international institutions, agencies and therefore, for example, United Nations and all other institutes. For example, WTO, etc. So you have to prepare all of this when you are going through your GS2 syllabus. Then coming down to GS3, overall we have 5 subjects, but this is one of the largest among these. Then you have science and technology, environment, disaster management and internal security. Economy, as I said, this is the largest part of this syllabus. To understand the economy part, you have to read Indian economy, its issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources and growth and employment and development. Then government budgeting, concept of inclusive growth and the issues. Then the agriculture part is also get covered under economics. Now that is why, because agriculture comes under the primary sector of India's economy. You also have secondary sector, then you have industries and service sector as well. So again, direct, indirect farm subsidies, minimum support prices, public distribution system, PDS, objective functioning, limitations, challenges, issues, then issue of buffer stocks, food security, technology missions and economics of animal rearing. This again comes under the agriculture part, but overall it is included under economics. Then you have the concept of land reforms in India and how liberalization started in India on the economy, changes in industrial policies, and again the concept of infrastructure, be it in the case of energy, ports, roads, airports, railways, etc. and various investment model. So this is broadly the coverage of economics part. Then under science and technology, you have to read about various inventions, applications, technologies and the contribution of indigenous technology and indigenous inventors. Achievements of Indians in science and technology, indigenization of technology and developing new technologies. So you have to remember those as well. Then these new fields could be there, for example, robotics, for example, cryptocurrency, for example, biotechnology, as well as various inventions in, be it in the agriculture field, be it in the medical field or educational aspects, anywhere, be it in the space field or defense field. Now third and fourth, environment and disaster management. These two subjects, actually this, the one pointer that has been given under the syllabus is disaster and disaster management. So first you have to know what is a disaster. I have to understand the terminologies, various terminologies that is used under this, from vulnerability to susceptibility. Then you have, first of all, to manage the disaster, you have to understand what kind of disasters that India face and overall what kind of disasters exist. So right from floods to droughts to cyclones, tsunami, every kind of disaster you're supposed to read and have a basic understanding that how do we deal with it and what else we can do. Now coming down to environment aspect, you have to read about the biosphere, anything and everything that is important to environmental conservation and degradation and what India is doing on this aspect. So this is your environment part of GS3. Then you have internal security. This is especially defense area. Linkage between development and spread of extremism, how they are colluding. Then the role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to internal security. Third would be other challenges to internal security through communication networks, technology, role of media and social media, and these sites in internal security challenges. Basics of cyber security and money laundering and its prevention. These are very important concepts. These have been clubbed under one point, but you have to prepare them as a separate topic. Then various security challenges, then the various border areas that we have, how do we manage them, which are the security forces that guard them, what are their agencies, what are their mandate, and how there is a linkage of organized crime with terrorism. So you have to read all of these concepts in entirety. That will take care of your internal security aspect in GS3. Now last but not the least, this is the GS4, that is your 4 GS paper, which is also known by the name of ethics. Here there will be 2 sections in the actual examination. Section A will have theoretical aspect and you will be given some 13 questions. Second part or section B of it will have 6 case studies, each of 20 marks. Again, that will be the application of the theoretical part that you have read in the pathway. So, for theoretical part, you have to know that there are topics such as aptitude, attitude, content, structure and its function, then various values, human values, then ethics, its essence, determinants and consequences of ethics in human action. Then you have the concept of emotional intelligence, what is the concept and what is its utilization, then what do you understand by it, and various contribution of moral thinkers and philosophers from India as well as world. You also have civil services value and its role in public administration, then probity in governance, and like I said, section B will deal with various case studies on this very subject. So, this was the general overview of your GS syllabus and especially main syllabus. This will also guide you to go into your prelim syllabus. So, this was all, and my intention was to just to take you through this overview of this prelims as well as main syllabus. Here we will wrap up our session. I hope to see you in the next sessions where we will be taking the micro detailing of each of these GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 paper. Till then, take care. Thank you.